Straight ahead on CCX News, a push to take cell phones out of drivers' hands, why the cause is personal to one Brooklyn Center woman. Plus, high-flying activities coming this summer to a Robbinsdale park. And later, we meet some hawks who've become one hungry bunch. CCX News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Local residents are reacting to a proposal that would make it illegal in Minnesota to talk on a phone that you are holding in your hand while driving.
There are two bills at the state capitol pushing for a hands-free law. Eric Nelson caught up with some local residents to get their reaction.
No problem with it. No, I think it's a great idea. And why wouldn't they do that earlier? I don't know.
I'm definitely okay with that.
I don't think people should use cell phones while driving.
For these drivers, going hands-free is a good idea. Hands down.
Crash, burn, people die. It's ridiculous, it's selfish.
That's the opinion of some Northwest Metro residents who believe phones in cars have become an epidemic.
My daughter's a tow truck driver, and I've rode with her, and I've seen the results. It's ugly.
I definitely agree with no phones in the car.
Brooklyn Center's Carnisha Graham also supports the efforts.
A lot of accidents occur because people are not paying attention. They're on their phones, so.
And her reasons are personal.
Actually, I was an example of that. On my phone, not paying attention caused a big accident. Car actually went off the road.
15 states already have gone hands-free, and Minnesota could be next because there is no opposition to the bill in St. Paul.
It's really not that important to be on your phone. Just go where you're going and then answer your phone after the fact, because you could possibly lose your life or someone else can lose theirs.
If hands-free does become law,
It's not law yet?
No.
I thought it was a law.
drivers would be required to use Bluetooth or a single earbud if they want to speak on the phone.
Everybody's looking down.
I've read that it's just as bad as drunk driving. And so, yeah, we need to have some sort of a law. It's like seatbelts. Seatbelts are a good law, too.
When you boil it all down, going hands-free will hopefully get drivers to focus more on the road.
You've seen bumper stickers, haven't you? Hang up and drive? Yeah, really.
In Brooklyn Center, I'm Eric Nelson, CCX News.
And if the hands-free law passes, a first offense would result in a $50 fine. The second would cost $225. Now to an update on a story we told you about on Monday. Police say a vulnerable adult who went missing in Crystal has been found safe. James Holem was found in Minneapolis. Police say Holem, who lives at a group home in Pine City, was visiting Crystal with his caregivers when he ran from them.
In Brooklyn Park, the City Council is giving the owner of an auto repair business one more chance to clean up his property. Over the past year, complaints have poured into the city about M&R Auto Service and Repair on Brooklyn Boulevard. The owner is currently in violation of his permit because cars are parked outside overnight that aren't supposed to be. The owner says he didn't expect business to boom this fast and things got out of hand. And according to city leaders, it's not the only auto repair shop that the city is having problems with.
It has become an eyesore to our city. Cars are parked every which way back there, and most of them are on the dirt.
The business is close to Elm Creek, and Councilmember Bob Maida expressed concern about oil or gas leaking into it. The City Council gave the business 2 weeks to move the vehicles, or else the owner would not be allowed to continue operating. Well, we have an update on a meeting in Washington, D.C. involving a group of local Liberian leaders.
They are urging the Trump administration to extend an immigration policy to avoid deporting hundreds of local Liberians. The Liberian delegation met with Republican and Democratic congressional leaders Tuesday, and the group wants signatures of support to urge President Trump to extend the deferred enforced departure policy for Liberians. That deadline ends on March 31st.
We are working towards an extension, at least for 2 years. And we also asking additionally for them to grant permanent resident status.
The Liberian delegation also met with Congressman Eric Paulson before they headed out to D.C. Paulson says he knows Liberians play an important role in the local economy, and he's working to extend that deadline.
We're communicating with the administration. We've had no assurance yet, and I don't expect they're going to make an announcement until we get closer to the deadline. But I'm just a little fearful for what could happen. And look, I mean, it puts a lot of uncertainty into these families' hearts and minds themselves.
Only the president can extend the immigration policy. Both Presidents Obama and Bush granted extensions.
Well, meanwhile, some local small business owners are sorting out how federal tax reform will affect their operations. At Primrose School of Champlain Park, franchise owner Joe Paquette hosted Congressman Paulson for a tour of the child care and preschool facility. Paquette says he plans to use the tax benefit to give his employees a pay raise and make investments in employees' education.
With a corporate tax cut, which is what we're getting, you're not going to see the effects of that until the end of the year. But knowing that it's coming, it allows me to plan for benefits to our staff starting this year.
Paquette also operates the Primrose School of Maple Grove. The Three Rivers Parks District wants more people to tap into local parks.
As a result, some high-flying fun may be coming soon to a park near you. Here's Shannon Slatton.
It doesn't matter the season, from paddleboarding in the summer to skiing in the winter. Three Rivers Park District is always looking for ways to lure people outside.
As the Twin Cities is growing and changing and becoming more diverse, how can we reach new users, and what are those new users interested in?
The latest idea involves setting up pop-up parks, similar to this event in Sohaki Park in 2015. Events like these offer opportunities for people to get up close with nature and perhaps experience a park for the first time.
Right now we have everything from canoes and kayaks and stand-up paddle boards to archery ranges and fishing gear that we set up. We have a mobile climbing wall that we also set up that can be used at festivals, and so really we can set up almost a pop-up park anywhere we want.
Three Rivers will now add a new feature to that mix.
New this year, Three Rivers Park District is going to be getting a mobile zip line. So it's a zip line we can actually take anywhere throughout the metro area.
The mobile zip line has a 30-foot tall tower that lets users zip 100 feet down to the ground. Three Rivers is investing in more features like this, partially as a way to offer more at parks in the inner ring suburbs.
For taxpayers, we're trying to figure out what resources can we provide for them who might not have a French Regional Park or an Elm Creek Park Reserve in their community, but they do have a Sohaki Park or they do have a Taft Park.
If residents can be introduced to a nearby park at an event, the hope is they come back to explore the park again.
We're hoping, one, to get people out in these inner tier parks and provide services for those communities, but then two, just to get new people into the parks, to take advantage of them. They're there for everybody to use and enjoy.
In Robbinsdale, Shannon Slatton, CCX News.
The Sohaki Park Expo will take place July 28th and 29th. Organizers are also planning on bringing the zip line to parks in Crystal, the Coon Rapids Dam, and possibly Brooklyn Center this summer. Still ahead, today's School Spotlight features one of the largest elementary schools in the Anoka-Hennepin district.
Plus, we'll hear from the Cooper girls basketball team as the Hawks get set for the state tournament.
But first, turning up the temperatures. Wednesday, highs in the mid-40s. We'll be right back.
It's not often you hear about elementary schools having as many students as some high schools.
That's true, but that is the case at Oxbow Creek in Brooklyn Park, which has nearly 1,200 students. As Delane Cleveland reports in today's School Spotlight, even with a large enrollment, the school tries to create a small school feel.
Quietly move on up to the front now, friends.
In elementary school, the classroom is where students learn the building blocks of education.
It has a comma right there.
During story time, students get a lesson on reading comprehension.
Eiley, what lets us know that he's feeling upset?
And when they're not breaking down the art of storytelling, they're completing assignments on iPads. All in all, Oxbow Creek is a place where students can become wild about learning.
We every year have over 50 to 60 families that do an open enrollment request to try to come to Oxbow because it's got such a great reputation in the community.
Ralph Carlson has been principal at Oxbow Creek since 2002, and even though this school has nearly 1,200 students in grades K through 5, Carlson says it not only has a small school feel, but it's a place where children can thrive.
You know, we have a mission statement that basically is really simple. We're to educate kids to proficiency and beyond. And we take that beyond real seriously because for a lot of kids, just getting to that level of proficiency isn't enough of a challenge. So we really take our talent development seriously.
Yet certain talents aren't always on full display in a classroom setting. That's why for the past 18 years, Oxbow Creek has put together an arts and academic expo.
The expo is all about the students creating a project of some sort, whether it's a drawing or a painting or a Lego project, creating a project that is all about their individual, showing their creativity.
The expo is a parent-run event where students have the chance to show off their creativity and imagination in one of 14 categories associated with academics, live performances, or visual arts.
At this grade level, they're trying to find what their passions really are.
The only criteria for the expo is that the students work on the project outside of school with limited parent involvement.
It allows the kids to express themselves in ways that they otherwise don't get to. Some of the artists that we never would have known that they're an artist. They're playing piano, they're singing a song, they're performing gymnastics. We even had a kindergartner who is a stand-up comedian. I mean, I'll never forget that. It's just hilarious.
It's an environment that allows students to not only find and foster their passion, but become academically prepared for the rigors of middle and high school.
Oh, let's see what's going to happen.
Carlson says the staff stability at Oxbow Creek is a big part of why students develop those skills.
Well, they get to know the teachers get to know the kids, because we all know it's about relationships, and when that can start with that teacher and student connection that is, so valuable to their academic progress.
In Brooklyn Park, Delaney Cleveland, CCX News.
Still ahead, celebrating a first at Cooper High School.
Plus, it's on to the state tournament for a handful of local prep girls basketball teams, including Maple Grove. We'll check in on the Crimson next in sports.
I'm Jay Wilcox with sports. The state girls basketball tournament tips off Wednesday. 5 teams from our viewing area are in the tournament, spread over all 4 classes. That includes first-time entrant Cooper in Class 3A. It's a goal they were shooting for from day one, and now the Cooper Hawks are in the state tournament for the first time.
It's been really exciting, especially me being a freshman and getting this opportunity with these girls has really been great.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. I'm pretty excited to see how far we can go, but we're just going to take one game step at a time.
I mean, I think it's big. Once you finally make that goal that you've been trying to reach, you're definitely a little relieved and excited. So for us to kind of get that milestone of at least getting a state berth is really big for us, and I think now the focus is on the games and trying to get to the championship.
Cooper reached the 3A tournament by beating Benilde St. Margaret's in the Section 6 final. It was their 3rd victory over BSM this season.
And I feel like we kept fighting. Like, they would come back with leads, and we would just keep pushing. So yeah, we played great.
Benilde did play a good game, and it's really hard to beat a team 3 times. But, we stayed together really well, and I was really proud of our girls for pulling out the win.
Cooper's strong body of work, a 26-2 record with both losses to top 10 teams in Class 4A, earned them the #1 seed for the tournament. It's a versatile team with many strengths.
This is probably the most comfortable year I've been with being scouted. When teams are familiar with you and they know what you have, just because we're so versatile and so deep. You could watch a game and pick out my leading scores and what plays we ran, and then watch the next game and it's completely different.
Cooper will make history. We'll have highlights of Cooper's quarterfinal game Wednesday starting at 4. Well, Maple Grove's girls basketball team is headed to state for the first time in 7 years. John Jacobson has more on the Crimson.
Maple Grove's girls have had a few days to let the excitement of last Thursday's section final championship settle in. But Monday was the first day back in school for the students.
There were so many people that would come up to me and be like, hey, good job, and it was just such a fun atmosphere to be in, and I never thought this would happen. It was so cool.
The Crimson carry a 24-5 record into the state tournament. They are the 5th seed and beat 4th-seeded Lakeville North in Wednesday's quarterfinals.
They've got a lot of talent. They're long, they're athletic, they can shoot. Jake Cuppy's one of their assistant coaches who knows us pretty well from his time over at Champlin, so I know they're going to know what we do. They're a little more unfamiliar for us. We don't see a lot of them, but we're fortunate to be able to study and work on our stuff and see how we match up.
With the state tournament comes a bigger stage, literally. All of the championship Class 4A state tourney games will be played under the bright lights in the larger court of Target Center.
I'm so excited. I mean, I watched the Timberwolves on TV last night, and it's cool to think that we'd be playing on that court. So I'm really excited.
enjoy the moment. Like, you know, take the first couple minutes when you walk out on the floor to kind of look around and be like, holy cow, this is really cool. Like, what a neat opportunity, what an experience. Because it doesn't happen all the time. And so to soak that in and enjoy it, and then focus.
Maple Grove is playing strong basketball right now as they look to advance to the semifinals for the first time in school history. In Maple Grove, John Jacobson, CCX Sports.
Maple Grove and Lakeville North tip off at noon Wednesday at Target Center. Well, the Maranatha Christian Academy girls basketball team is in the state tournament for a record-tying 9th time in a row, but this time in a new class. The Mustangs are in the Class 2A tournament after moving up from Class A this season. They beat Holy Family by 10 points to capture the Section 5 title last week. It's a good feeling to be back, and proving they're good enough to get there in 2A is even better.
I think that it just shows that we're like here to play, really. Like, we're a state tournament team, doesn't matter what class.
It's like an honor just to get back there for the 9th year in a row. Like, the senior year, if we didn't get there, it'd be really like devastating, but I knew we could do it.
We expected a tougher road getting to the state tournament. Overall, I mean, the depth of each of the teams is a little deeper than we're used to seeing in single A. So we know we have to play a complete game.
Maranatha is the number 2 seed for the tournament. They face Mesabi East in the quarterfinals Wednesday at 6 p.m. at Williams Arena. Highlights from section boys basketball and state girls basketball Wednesday starting at 4 here on CCX. We'll be back to you.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. Up next, quite the send-off.
A swell of support for a team ready to take flight. And finally, as you heard in sports, the Cooper Lady Hawks are all pumped up.
That's a good look. Pep Rally was held Tuesday for the top-ranked Cooper girls basketball team. As we mentioned, the team is going to the state tournament for the first time in school history. And at today's rally, the players say game on.
I'm very excited for us to go all the way this year because it's the first time for girls basketball in Cooper history to do this, and we're making a mark this year.
This is really important for us because we had a lot of doubters coming into the season, so just to prove them wrong and get the dub has been really great.
This is actually my first year playing, and I wouldn't expect this to happen for me coming here for the first year.
So Wednesday morning, students will board 10 buses and head to Williams Arena to cheer the team on. And we wish them our good luck, guys. Go get them. That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
And we will see you back here again on Wednesday, starting at 4 o'clock.